I made a video over a year ago on the subject of incest. It was essentially a response to The Amazing Atheist. I stand by what I said in the video. Go watch that if you want. Anyway, I received a comment on that particular upload a while back, which got me thinking. A comment by a user called Darkiel1986, who said, "The idea of a state regulating the genetic status of the population is disgusting." Why disgusting, I ask? Why has this person's revulsion been aroused? Perhaps it's disgusting to this individual because his or her judgment has been clouded by a misguided ideology of some variety, or maybe it's deeply felt emotionally, morally. This person is convinced that it's completely wrong. But let's address this in the hope that an interesting discussion might arise. Okay. The fruits of incest: recessive traits, congenital birth defects, genetic disorders as a result of first-degree relatives breeding, children with disabilities, lower life quality, lower intelligence, considerably less opportunities. Yeah, inbreeding is not good news for a population. Prohibitions against certain kinds of relations have my support, though I'm all for reviewing the law and listening to folks whose views differ greatly from my own. I'm always ready to listen. This user's comment was clearly in regard to the incest inbreeding issue, but there's more to be said here on the broader topic of state regulation of the genetic status of the population. What about genetic engineering in humans? Genotypes can be modified. This science has potential. Positive traits could be engineered in individuals, negative traits could be suppressed. Certain types of nasty, debilitating diseases could be done away with. Then again, manipulation of genetic materials could have far-reaching negative consequences. Individuality of human beings could be compromised, so to speak. Diminished diversity in a population, potential bad news for the species, right? I've said this before in a video several years ago. The media has to take some responsibility for much of the ill-informed debate which has taken place in recent years regarding the subject of genetic engineering in humans or otherwise. I've read it, I've seen it. Yeah, anyway, the potential to do a lot of good is there. Elimination of genetic disorders, life-destroying disorders. If scientists can lessen the suffering for so many, enhance the quality of life on this planet to levels unseen, do they not have a moral obligation to do so? However, the potential for unethical practice here is massive, and if you've ever considered this subject in terms of risk assessment, really taken the time to think about it, you will be somewhat aware of the dangers, the possible future outcomes. Germline gene therapy. Not the same as somatic gene therapy. As far as germline gene therapy goes, there are geneticists who fear that new types of humans will exist in the future. Future generations, genetic superiors, if you will. Stronger, more intelligent, more resilient. Think of the moral and social consequences, I've heard some say. Okay, I'm thinking, and I've been thinking for a while. Yeah, genuinely disturbing, irreversible alteration of the human species. If you're not disturbed by that, you're not paying attention. Back to the comment. I repeat, the idea of a state regulating the genetic status of the population is disgusting. So, what if we have zero regulation of scientific procedures, experiments, medical procedures, experiments? What if governments and lawmakers around the world were to say, fuck it, let geneticists do what they like, designer babies, have at it, folks. Who is the state to interfere? Huge dangers, possible threats to the survival of the species. Nah. We must set our concerns aside. To regulate is to oppress. It's disgusting. Well, Darkeel 1986, I say to you, sir or madam, whether or not you are disgusted, filled with indignation by government regulation, by incest laws, by overview of genetic engineering, genetic experiments, well, that's your business, but I put it to you that we do indeed need to regulate what's going on in laboratories and research facilities and in society at large. Rogue elements do threaten the general well-being, and intervention in some cases is justifiable and should be carried out.